Well, good evening, folks, and welcome back to Wertydurd. This is Cross Train with you from the game Banished, and looking into episode number 9, I think, of Wertydurd. Yeah, something like that. Anyways, in the last episode, I brought you our first real disaster in Wertydurd, which was a tornado that went ripping through in the spring of year 53. So I wanted to kind of do a follow-up here for you, and let's see how things in Wertydurd have progressed in the last 6 years. We are currently looking at spring of year 59. If you recall, I'll highlight for you. We had 309 residents when the tornado went ripping through. We ended up at the end of the tornado with 228 residents, so we lost 81 of our residents were killed in that tornado. And today, here we are 6 years later, I have recovered extremely nicely. We are back up to 328 citizens in 6 years. We have, in fact, that's exactly 100 citizens been born in the last 6 years. Well, a lot more than 100 actually, because I had a bunch die as well. So I had a net gain of 100 citizens in the last 6 years in Wertydurd. So I'm going to take you around, show you what's going on now in Wertydurd, and show you some of my challenges I'm trying to keep up with at this point. I've got the game paused right now, so I'm going to go ahead and, in the interest of the game, I'm going to knock it back down just to 1 times, and we're going to go ahead and roll the game while I kind of just walk you around. So again, as I said, we recovered nicely. If you recall, for those of you that followed the series, the tornado came down right here. Hit right, in fact, it took out this forester station right here and then wiped out all of this forest here. You can see that my forestry station was being rebuilt. And so obviously in 6 years we've replanted and those plants there. The tornado then went ripping through town, and at the time I had plotted out these 4 stone houses. They had not been built yet, but the tornado came through here and just ripped through the heart of town here. It took down my city hall, took down my hospital, all of the blacksmith, the tailor shop, the school right here was leveled. Lost a bunch of students from there. My storage barn here, my brew house was wiped out, a couple of houses here. My market, again, a storage place for foodstuffs and so on and so forth, was wiped out. My gatherer's hut over here was wiped out, and then this storage barn as well, and then it went across the river, wiped out these houses here, and then just kind of went and took out this forest and died off. It went off the map right up in here. So there's a pretty significant path through the town. Like I said, took out 81 citizens, and we were left with a lot of cleanup to do. So today, here we are 6 years later, and you can see that everything that we had before came back. We rebuilt everything. I did have 228 citizens. And it killed all my cows. I had just moved cows into this brand new pasture in downtown Wertydurd, and it took them all out as well. So you can see we've rebuilt everything. Town hall was my first priority, get that bad boy back up. The hospital came up. All of this stuff downtown. I built these stone houses. Rebuilt the market, rebuilt the gatherer's hut. I did add, I might say, a forester's lodge here, which was not here before, because I wanted to, there was nothing here. And quite frankly, a forester or gatherer's hut is worthless without trees, so I did add the forester's hut to add some trees back in here. I also added another cemetery here, because what I found after 81 deaths immediately was that almost all of my cemeteries were full. So I went ahead and took a little bit of the gatherer's business away by putting this back in. And then I just, again, rebuilt over here. So things came along. The biggest challenge I had afterwards, quite frankly, was the reality that all of a sudden I had a bunch of houses gone in the middle here. A bunch of work done in the middle here. So all of a sudden my workers were literally having to travel a long way. When they were working and had to go get warm or had to go get food or whatever the case might be, they were traveling over longer distances because they didn't live quite as close to their workplaces. So what happened that first summer and particularly winter is I lost probably another 8 to 10 residents to starvation and freezing to death because they couldn't get to their home in time. So they were so we had some issues there. So over here, this was not impacted in any way, shape, or form by the tornado. One of my strategies that I had early on was to spread out my my housing centers, if you will, my work centers, for just that reason. So if a tornado came, it might hurt me, but it wouldn't kill me. And that's exactly what we got going on here. We're in pretty decent shape. I got another cemetery going in over here. I can see they're not quite completed yet, so got to hope for that. But so that strategy worked out extremely nicely. Again, it did hinder me a little bit because folks were having to travel an awful long distance to get to work, which again led to some starvation and some freezing deaths. So since then, some of the things I added a second coal mine here, I'm doing iron out of here. I decided not to go with coal because, quite frankly, I don't need the coal. I've got wood plenty, so I'm in good shape with wood. So I decided to just build another mine and try to pull some more coal out of there, iron out of there, because what you'll see around the houses, or around the map now, is all of my recent houses. I've got, I've got 125 homes, and probably my last 30 or so are stone. These have the added benefit, if you play the game, of maintaining better heat, so it doesn't use as much firewood to heat, as well as, obviously, they're a little bit more challenging to burn down than a wood home. So this group of stone houses that's right here will burn much more slowly and maybe not as significantly as this group of 6 wood houses. So I started building all stone, so I need my stone and iron production to be up. So again, I put in this second mine to complement my first mine, which is here, both of them producing iron, as you can see. This quarry, it only has 20% remaining. You can see I've kicked up my workers on these quarries too, to 8 workers on this quarry. But there's only 20% left there. So I was just, at the time of the tornado hit, I had just really started developing this, what I call the southern end of the map. So I had put a second quarry in here. We've got 67 remaining. I've got 8 folks working this quarry as well. So I'm producing some pretty decent stone. And with 2 mines, some pretty decent iron production as well. So, again, built another cemetery over here. When people do die, you affect your happiness if they have to travel too long to see their lost loved ones in the cemetery. So, I want to make sure I'm putting cemeteries in each of the population centers. This one was filled up, 28 of 28, during the tornado. So I had to build another cemetery over here. As you see, I've got a school over here, and just 6 students over here. I added some more to the very southernmost end of town. Put another sheep pasture in here. Put another fishing dock down here, and then a bunch of houses to support the farming and the herding that's going on. One other thing that I've noticed, let me point this out. My log production is in good shape. My fuel production is in good shape, which is just firewood, because I don't use coal. So this is all firewood. I'm running just under 10,000 units here, just over 4,000 log units, and that's maintained a pretty steady pace here. I do have, as you can see, 9 woodcutters cutting firewood. So, and I've also got foresters, 24 foresters on the wood production sideline. So that's pretty good. The one thing that has been a bit of a challenge since the tornado is food production. At the time of the tornado, I had 48,000 units of food. I lost 10,000 units of food in the tornado in the 2 storage barns in a market that I lost. So I went all the way down to 38,000. Well, I've been down as low as 28,000 since then. So I've had to kick up my food production level. I mean, this is enough food to feed my entire population for a couple of years if I produce no other food. But still, I like having that nice cushion there. So I've created another center over here. Brand new here. You can see the foresters just kicking some trees down here. But I've got another center here. My storage barn. I've got the hunting cabin. I've got the forester's lodge, and I've got the gatherer's hut. Again, that's my grouping of 3 that will work this area and begin producing a whole buttload of food soon. So I can hopefully get this number back up into the. I'd love to get it up in above 40,000 again. But as you can see, I built the housing for these guys right outside of the gathering circle, so which is what I want to do, because then the removal of the trees doesn't matter. Hopefully at this point, we'll check this and see. Hopefully all of the guys that are working here are living close by now. So yeah, see, so the forester lives right in one of those houses, as does my whoever this is. And then my hunter lives in that house too. So it works exactly as intended. My guys who are working over here are living in the close by houses. So that's beautiful. That's what we want to have happen. And it's self-correcting as we move along. So anyways, I think that's pretty much. I've got some more. I'll begin doing some more expansion. Probably next area will be over in this area of the map. So that will probably be next as I move. I am at 328, so as we've been talking, we just maintained. We've lost a few that have died, and we've gained a few through bursts and so on and so forth. But we're sitting right at 328. I'm actually trying to slow down my birth rate a little bit, so again my food doesn't outpace my my population. So, but the problem I have is I have all these homes. See, I've got 98 families and 125 homes. So those youngsters are going to be willing, they're at 13 or 14. They're going to be going, oh, come on, Mom, Dad, I'm going to get married and start having kids. Because there's plenty of empty homes for them to move into. So, again, we're going to see that happening. I've got 69 kids and 60 students. So 129 non-adults. Which means all these students in the next several years, I think, will be moving into my workforce. You can see right now I have 18 laborers, 6 builders. Probably going to take some of these laborers off and put them on food production here. Again, just to make sure that, see, I'm at 29.5. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and do that right here. We're going to put a few more gatherers on. In fact, I'm going to put 4 more, so I'll have 3 at each of the gathering stations, because I have 8 stations. Because I'm not going to do much more building for the time being until I get really, really, really stable. I've got the maximum number of farmers on, gatherers. I got a bunch. I got the maximum herdsmen on. Hunters. I could put some more hunters on. I really have just a buttload of. In fact, yeah. Let me put a couple more hunters on. So that just a couple. So we'll have 9. Let's make it an even 10 hunters. I'm gonna kick my builders down. Laborers, keep them up at 13. And that will all help me hopefully kick up this food production here, so I can get it back up. That I've got to stabilize before I go too much further. So the other thing that I want to see about my production of, I've got only 1 tailor working and 3 blacksmiths. So let's take a look at my hide coats. I got 315 and I've got 101 warm coats. So I only need the 1 tailor. He'll just keep making some hide coats. As far as tools, I've got almost 500 iron tools and no steel tools. I don't see a big benefit to steel tools, so we just make iron. So there's 500 of them. So I'm in good shape with that stuff too. So I think that's a pretty solid. Sorry about the lag there. Pretty solid update from Wertydurd. Things are back and humming in Wertydurd. So we recovered extremely nicely from that tornado. Again, I think the strategy to spread out my population centers and my work centers and my supply centers was a good one, and seemed to have worked. So for now, that'll be all from Wertydurd. Hope you enjoyed that, and we'll just keep working this here, and maybe next big milestone, I don't know, 500 citizens maybe, if I make it that far. We'll do our next video. But for now, from Wertydurd, in the game Banished, this is Cross Train, and as always, peace and out.